Here we're going to review working with mixed numbers. Now there's a couple ways we could work with them. Either we can convert them into decimals or we can convert them into improper fractions. I'm going to first convert these into decimals. Now for this 2 3/4, anything that has quarter intervals like 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, these are all easy to convert because we know those numbers. We can recall them quickly from our memory. We know that from a whole dollar, 25 cents or a quarter of a dollar is 0.25, 25 cents. Half of a dollar is 50 cents or 0.5, and 75 cents is 3/4 of a dollar. So here, 2 3/4, this 3/4 easily becomes 0.75. So we have 2 and 0.75. 2 1/2 becomes 2.5. 2 1/4 becomes 2.25. Now it becomes just a little bit more tricky, a little bit trickier when our fractions of the mixed number are not in quarter intervals. When we have 3 and 5/6. Now what we have to do is we need to figure out what 5/6 is in decimal form. To do this, we actually need to divide 5 by 6. So over here, I'm going to divide 5 by 6. But 6 does not go into 5. So what you actually have to do is create a decimal and a 0 place. And we ask ourselves, okay, how many times does 6 go into 50? How many times can 6 fit within 50? So we know that 6 times 10 gives us 60. Well, that's too high. So let's go maybe a little bit lower, 9. 6 times 9 gives us 54, which is again a little too high. 6 times 8, however, is 48, and that does fit. So I'm going to place my decimal place right above where my decimal was in the dividend. And I'm going to place my 8. 8 goes into, multiplies by 6 to give us 48. And I subtract. 50 minus 48 gives us 2. I bring down another 0. How many times does 6 go into 20? 6 fits into 23 times because 3 times 6 is 18. Subtract 20 minus 18 is 2. Oh, I can see what's happening here. And then 6 times 6 goes into 20 again 3 times. So actually we're having a repeating 3. So for 3 and 5/6, we have 3.83 repeating. Now we can also convert these into improper fractions. So now I'm going to take 2 3/4 and convert that into an improper fraction. What we do is we multiply 2 times the denominator of 4 because we need to make 2 speak the same language as 3/4 if we're combining them together. Technically here we're adding them together. So they need to speak the same language. They need to be in the same format. They both need to be fractions. So what we do is we force 2 to have the same denominator as 3/4. We do this by multiplying 2 by 4/4. Again, we can multiply by anything that is equivalent to 1 and not actually change the value. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. We're not actually changing the value of 2. Now when we multiply a fraction times a whole number, you multiply the numerator times the whole number. 4 times 2 is 8. So here we have 8/4 plus 3/4. 8 plus 3 is 11 over 4. So that's our improper fraction answer. Let's try the same thing for 3 and 5/6. We need to force that 3 to have the same denominator as 5/6. So I'm going to multiply by a number over itself that would give us a denominator of 6. I'm going to multiply by 6 over 6. And again, we multiply the numerator times the whole number. 6 times 3 is 18 over 6 plus 5/6. 18 plus 5 is 23 over 6. And that's my improper fraction.